What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel Anime Fiction. I'm back with an episode of First Naruto became the leader of Justice League Part 1. And if you did enjoy the video, give this video a like, and if you my channel like my content, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more crossover fictions. Now let's begin this new video.
Chapter 1 Independence Day. July 4th 10:00 a.m. EDT, Hall of Justice, Washington, D.C. A gang of 4 men and adolescent boys entered the Hall of Justice. One is dressed in a dark gray suit with a bat emblem across the chest, black trunks, gloves with fins on the outside, boots, and a black cape with a distinctive pattern at the end. He also has bat ears on his black cowl. To complement his costume, he also wears a yellow belt. This is Batman, also known as Bruce Wayne, the Justice League's creator. He is accompanied by a teen boy with short black hair and a domino mask. He's dressed in black leggings, a scarlet vest, boots, and gloves that appear to be constructed of some kind of defensive body armor. A stylized R emblem was seen on his breast and around his waist. He's dressed in a gold utility belt with numerous pouches for his gear. He was wearing a cape that was black on the outside but pale yellow on the inside. Robin's real name is Richard Dick Grayson. He is both Batman's protege and his adopted son. The second man is tall and bearded, with tanned skin, short blonde hair, aqua blue eyes, and a solid frame. He's dressed in a dark green leggings and an orange scale mail tunic. A gold belt with a stylized letter A clasps around his waist. He also wears golden gauntlets and dark green greaves. Aquaman is the King of Atlantis and a founding member of the Justice League, actual name Arthur Orion Curry. A teen lad with light blonde hair trimmed at the bottom, brown skin, pale green eyes, high cheekbones, and a slim physique stands beside him. He also has webbed hands and feet, as well as gills. He has black, eel-like tattoos on his back and arms, and he wears a skin-tight, full-body red and blue swimsuit that exposes his arms and feet. On the rear of the calves are a pair of tiny dorsal fins, along with a backpack with 2 handles protruding from his back. Aqualad's true name is Calderam, the Aquaman's protege. The third man had blonde hair, blue eyes, a beard, and a blonde mustache. His clothes appear to be mostly green. He's dressed in a dark green shirt with a hood, a long light green vest, black slacks, and green boots. He wears an arrow quiver and a bow on his back, as well as a black strap across his chest. In addition, he wears long green gloves, a black mask, and a green belt with a gold G. This is Green Arrow, also known as Oliver Queen. He is a Justice League member. A teen boy with auburn hair and a domino mask was with him. He is tall and muscular, especially on his upper torso. He's dressed in a yellow 16th century style hat with a feather, yellow gloves, boots, a red suit, and a belt. This is Speedy, whose real name is Roy Harper, and who is Green Arrow's protege. The final figure is dressed in a full-body scarlet outfit with 2 little yellow lightning bolts across the waist and wrists. This is the Flash, also known as Barry Allen. He is a Justice League founding member. He was accompanied by a teen boy dressed in a yellow outfit with red pants, red gloves, and yellow shoes with a red lightning bolt within a white circle. Along with him, he was sporting red goggles on his brow. This is Kid Flash, also known as Wally West. He is both the Flash's protege and his nephew. As they entered, 2 other men approached them. One is a tall humanoid with green skin. His head is entirely bald, and his face has an unusual proportion, with heavy brows, large lips, and crimson eyes. His outfit is mostly black with red embellishments, including a huge red belt and X-shaped straps across his chest. He also wears a blue cape that is held in place by gold clips. This is Martian Manhunter, often known as Jean Jones or John Jones. He is a Martian and one of the League's founders. The second appears as a tall crimson robot with no ears or nose. His mouth and eye sockets are dark, creating the impression that he is emotionless. He wears a blue cape and wears a yellow T emblem on his breast and a yellow arrow on his forehead. This is Red Tornado, a 1940s-era robot who is now a League member. Greetings, Robin, Aqualad, Speedy, and Kid Flash. You can now use our kitchen, gym, and library. Manhunter smiled at the teens before leading them into another room. Please make yourselves at home. As he and the other grown-ups walked to the opposite side and spoke, he ended. After a brief pause, Batman spoke up. Short debrief to explain why 4 ice villains attacked on the same day. We shouldn't be here much longer. A little camera emerged from the ceiling and examined each individual as he approached a door with a members only sign. Recognized. Batman, 02. Aquaman, 06. Flash, 04. Green Arrow, 08. Martian Manhunter, 07. Red Tornado, 16. As the heroes approached the door, the computer spoke in a female voice. That's it. They looked at Speedy, who gave them a harsh stare before proceeding. You promised us a real look inside, not a glorified backstage pass. Aquaman locked his gaze on him before speaking aloud. This is the first step. You've been given access that few people have. Speedy motioned to the tourist at the ceiling window. Who cares what side of the glass we're on? Green Arrow approached him and said up. Slow down, Roy. All you have to do is be patient. Speedy only stared at him. What I need is respect. The computer spoke out before anything further could be said. Recognized. Cage, 17, Artemis, B01. They turned around to see a teen with blonde spiky hair, 2 bangs framing his face, 3 whisker markings on each cheek, and sunglasses. He's dressed in a Kevlar vest underneath a black short-sleeved trench coat with a pulled-down hood, fingerless gloves, cargo pants, and combat boots with a black pouch on his right thigh. He also has a black quiver loaded with black arrows, a black bow grip with front and rear buttons, and a laser sight. 1. This is Cage, also known as Naruto Uzumaki. He is the league's youngest member and a founding member. A half-Caucasian, half-Vietnamese adolescent girl of ordinary height sits beside him. Her skin is olive-toned, and she has long, thick blonde hair and dark gray eyes.
She is little in stature yet sporty in build. Her hair is down to her waist and is wrapped back in a ponytail. Her uniform is a midriff-bearing outfit that emphasizes her physique. It comes in several colors of gray and black. It consists of a mask that extends from the hairline to the cheekbones, a sleeveless top with a gray stylized arrow tip on the front, fingerless gloves, black knee pads, and black combat boots.
Her left leg is additionally adorned with a black utility belt and pouch. Imagine her in the stealth version of her attire, along with a quiver on her back containing a folded black compound bow and a slew of arrows. This is Artemis, sometimes known as Artemis Croc, Naruto's companion and girlfriend. Cage removed his glasses, revealing his blue eyes, and peered at Speedy. Respect is earned, not given, Roy, Cage stated as Roy returned his stare. I earned it, Naruto. They. Roy went on, pointing to the adults. Treat us like kids, like sidekicks. Before speaking, Naruto snorted. And throwing a temper tantrum when things don't go your way is going to help your case? He inquired, his brow furrowed. Roy gave him a stern look before pointing to Artemis. How did she get access to the watchtower? Isn't she your sidekick? Artemis approached them and stopped near Naruto. I'm no one's sidekick. Naruto moved his left arm to stop her progress. She's my business partner, Roy. And all I was doing was showing her around. Don't look at me like that, Batman. I know what I'm doing. He aimed the final portion of his speech to Batman, who narrowed his eyes at him. Wait, are you a member of the League? But you don't appear to be any older than us. Naruto shook his head as Kid Flash spoke. No, I'm an unofficial participant. The public may consider me a founder member because I assisted with the invasion a while back, but the League will not accept anyone under the age of 18. Despite the fact that I am technically over the age of 18. Before speaking, Aqualad raised an eyebrow. Over 18? Naruto sighed before beginning to explain. I'm from another world. I de-aged for around 6 years when I was relocated here. I'm 23 years old mentally, but 17 years old physically. To be fair, they're still arguing whether or not I should be a member as a result of it. Robin was the next to speak up, rising from his seat. Wait, what do you mean, Watchtower? Roy, fed up with being ignored, spoke up. The hall isn't their HQ. They have a secret HQ. A giant orbital satellite. Batman locked his gaze on Green Arrow. I know. But Naruto stepped up as his sidekick. Green Arrow attempted to blame Naruto, who turned to face him. She's my colleague. If you're not going to address her as such, please use student because I also trained her. Aquaman approached Speedy and stared at him. You're not doing yourself any favors here, son. Please take a seat. Speedy gave him a stern look before speaking out.
And then what? Are you going to lock me in my room? I'm not your child. I'm not even one of his. Before snatching his cap, he directed the last to Green Arrow.
I mistook myself for his partner. Not any longer. He threw down his hat and walked past the other teenagers. They were absolutely correct about you three. You were not prepared.
Naruto shouted up as he approached the door. Think about this, Roy. Naruto continued after seeing him stop. If you go out that door, you're right back where you started. And this was before Green Arrow even considered having a protege. Roy simply went away without saying anything.
Naruto sighed and turned to face Green Arrow. How long has he had that stick up his ass? The alarm on the computer near the door went off before Green Arrow could say anything. Suddenly, a man appeared on the television. He's a tall, strong man with blue eyes and short black hair curled across his brow. He's dressed in a blue outfit with a yellow shield and a red S on his chest, as well as a red cape. This is Superman, also known as Clark Kent or Kal-El. He is a Kryptonian from the planet Krypton and a League founding member. To the League, Superman. On Project Cadmus, a fire broke out. Naruto's eyes widened as he looked at Batman, who went up to the screen. I've had my suspicions of Cadmus for some time now. Naruto approached him while Artemis remained with the other teens. Suddenly, another man appeared on a little screen. He's a middle-aged man with green eyes and a big black mustache who is dressed formally. He's dressed in 3 layers, beginning with a white shirt with a red bow tie attached, followed by a yellow vest, and finally with a black jacket. This is Giovanni Zatara, a League member. Zatara to the League. Wotan is planning to blot out the sun. I request a full League response. Batman gave Naruto a nod before turning to face Superman. Superman. Superman paused for a moment before responding. It's a small fire, the local firefighters are taking care of it. Batman nodded and turned to face the others. All right, we'll handle Wotan, he said, turning to face the teenagers. Stay here. Robin gazed at him, stunned. What, why? While Batman, Aquaman, and Flash conversed with them, Naruto conversed with Artemis. Let me know how they go, he replied before hugging and kissing her. I still don't know much about Cadmus. My informant was unable to obtain any concrete information. Artemis nodded before smiling at him. Be careful, he said as he approached Martian Manhunter and Red Tornado. Red Tornado shifted his focus to Martian Manhunter. I'm glad you didn't bring you-know-who, Martian Manhunter said as he nodded. Indeed. Naruto turned to face him before speaking. I still think you should have Jun. Hey, I'll catch up in a second, I need to check something. He added as the others exited through the door, leaving the teens alone. Hey, babe. Artemis turned to face Kid Flash, who had run up to her. How about a dog? She interrupted, raising her hand. Sorry, I'm already taken, she said, motioning to Naruto, who was inspecting his arrows. I thought they trusted us, Aqualad stated as Kid Flash suddenly realized Artemis was looking at him. Trust? They don't trust us with the basics. They have a secret HQ. In space. Aqualad lowered his gaze for a moment. What else aren't they telling us? Robin let out a snort before speaking up. I've got a better question. Why didn't we leave with Speedy? Because you're more mature than he is. They turned to look at Naruto, who picked up his bow handle and clicked a button, causing it to unfurl into a black recurve bow. You all have the potential to join. You just need more training and to reach the age of 18. Roy will have to start over because he blew up when something didn't go his way, he stated as he walked to the door and exited through it after being scanned. Before Aqualad spoke, Robin sighed. What is Project Cadmus? Robin sighed and shrugged. I don't know. But I can find out. Robin walked up to the computer and swiftly typed on it. Access denied. Robin smirked as many screens appeared in front of him. Dude. How are you doing this? Robin typed before responding. Same as the computer in the cave, and the computer spoke out after pressing enter. Access granted. A picture of a building appeared. Project Cadmus. A genetics lab here in DC. If Batman's suspicious, that's more than enough reason to investigate. Aqualad paused for a while. Solve their mystery before they do. It would be poetic justice. And they're all about justice, Robin stated, placing his hands on his belt. Aqualad groaned and then spoke up. But they did tell us to stay put, Robin said with a chuckle. Kid Flash instantly grasped Robin's shoulder and said, from the Sun mission. Not this one. Are you serious? If you're going, I'm going. they said, looking at Aqualad and Artemis, who both smiled. They walked away, Artemis beaming in the back. They're acting exactly like Naruto said, she thought as she walked out the door, past the reporters and visitors. Cadmus Labs, Thursday, July 4, 2016 Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 2 scientists were thrown out of the building by an explosion. Kid Flash rushed up the wall, seized them, threw them onto the roof, and then slipped. As the firefighters glanced at him, he seized the open window. "Hey, it's Flash Boy," Kid Flash said, raising an eyebrow. "It's Kid Flash. Why is that so hard to remember?" He wondered before Robin leapt through the window and assisted him. Aqualad's tattoos flashed, and he reached for the pack's handles. "I need to borrow that," he remarked, drawing water from the hose and forming a pillar out of it. He approached the 2 scientists and escorted them to the pillar. As they descended, Aqualad proceeded to the window, while Artemis checked on the scientists before using a grapple gun to ascend. "Thanks for the help," Aqualad cynically stated as Robin wrote on a computer. "You handled it fine on your own," Aqualad said as he proceeded down the corridor and noticed something in an elevator. "Something went in the elevator," Artemis said, astonished. "I thought elevators were locked down during a fire." The youngsters asked as they approached it, and Robin pressed the down button, but nothing happened. "This is wrong." When he raised his left arm, a keyboard and circular screen appeared in front of him. "An info box appeared when I typed on it." "I thought so. This is a high-speed elevator, it shouldn't be used in a building this small." Aqualad approached the doors and pried them open. A large underground passage is depicted. "I guess Batman was right to suspect this place," Artemis said before Robin used his grappling gun to lower himself. Aqualad did the same as Kid Flash, grabbing the elevator wire and sliding down. Suddenly, Robin and Artemis came to a halt in front of a SL26 door. "Huh. Out of rope. Need to remember that for later," Artemis said as they, Kid Flash, and Aqualad approached the door. Robin typed on his computer for a bit before smiling. "All right, security has been cleared," Aqualad said as he pushed open the door and walked into the hall. "Well, this is Project Cadmus," he explained before Kid Flash took off. "Kid, wait." Aqualad yelled as Kid Flash dashed into a horde of enormous mammoth-like aliens. The others caught up and noticed a tiny alien on one of their heads with horns that illuminated for a brief second. "Yeah. Nothing strange here." The aliens proceeded down the hall until the youths approached a closed door and picked the latch. When they entered, they discovered a slew of tubes filled with insect-like creatures creating power. "This must be how they make their own electricity," Artemis observed before Robin connected to a computer. "They're called xenomorphs. Telepathic. Steel-strong claws. Super strength. These things are weapons," Artemis thought to herself as she glanced at the screen. "But why are they making them? Or who for?" Robin flipped through another page. "There's also a Project Cur. And WG, but they're triple encrypted." Suddenly, a masculine voice came out. "Halt." They turned around to see a towering, muscular man. He's dressed in a dark blue costume with a golden helmet, shoulder and wrist pads, and a shield. He was surrounded by xenomorphs. "This is Guardian speaking." "Robin, Aqualad, Artemis, Kid Flash." Aqualad's eyes expanded slightly. "Guardian? What are you doing here?" "I'm the chief of security here," Artemis said, her eyes narrowing. "I don't think the Justice League would approve of this," she added as the xenomorph on the Guardian's shoulders glowed with horns. For a brief moment, Guardian shook his head. "Get them." Robin yelled as Artemis unfolded her compound bow and drew out an arrow. Aqualad took Guardian and shocked him after energizing his tattoos, as Kid Flash zoomed around knocking the aliens down. Artemis fired a few arrows, exploding white substance that glued the xenomorph to the floor. "Let's go," she exclaimed, drawing out another arrow and sprinting to the elevator where Robin was hacking. Artemis turned around and discharged the arrow, which opened up into a net and was hooked to the ceiling and floor, stopping the invaders. Kid looked to Robin as the elevator descended. "Down? But the exit is up." Robin simply glanced at him before responding. "Project Cur and WG are both down," Aqualad murmured, stroking the back of his neck. "Perhaps we should call the League," Artemis suggested, shaking her head. "No signal. We'll need a computer or something to reach them." The doors opened to reveal an underground passageway that divides in two. "We're already here," Kid remarked before rushing away, followed by the others. "Stop." They turned around to see a xenomorph dressed in a white shirt and jeans. He moved stuff, forcing the adolescents to run down another hall to a door labeled Project Kerr, and WG Kid collided with a female scientist with dark skin and glasses who walked away. Looking up, he noticed the others close behind him and took a tank to keep the door open. "Hurry!" he cried as they dashed in, and Aqualad kicked the tank away. "I've disabled the door," Robin stated before Kid could respond.
Guys. After pressing a button, the lights turned on, revealing two teenagers, one male and the other female, sleeping in tubes with three xenomorphs above them. Both had black hair, with the male having short hair and being obviously tall and strong.
Her hair extended just below her shoulders on the female. They're both dressed in full bodysuits, the lads in white and the girls in red. The boys is emblazoned with Superman's shield, while the girls is emblazoned with two W's. "That's Wonder Woman's logo, and isn't that one Superman's?" Artemis asked as Robin and Aqualad approached. Kid approached the boys' tube and noticed Kerr written on the door. Aqualad looked at Robin and said, "Big K, little r. The atomic symbol for Krypton." Robin connects to the computer and opens a file on them. Weapon designation Superboy and Wonder Girl. Clones force grown in 16 weeks. He kept going at the paperwork, not noticing Wonder Girl's eyes turning orange around them. DNA acquired from Superman for Superboy, and Cage and Wonder Woman for Wonder Girl. 2. Artemis returned her gaze to the two sleeping teenagers. Aqualad pointed to the xenomorphs and said, "I know Cage wouldn't allow that." "And them? They force feed them information," Kid said, completing for Robin. "And other things. They're making slaves out of Superman's son, and Cage's and Wonder Woman's daughter." When Aqualad strikes his symbol on his belt, it lights up. Artemis groaned before speaking up. "Now we call the League. I told you no signal. How about the computer, Robin?" Robin made a shaky motion with his head. "No, nothing." Aqualad turned to Robin, not noticing the xenomorph's flashing horns. "Let them out." By pressing a button, the tubes opened, allowing Superboy and Wonder Girl to open their eyes, revealing them to be blue, and rush them. Superboy kidnapped Aqualad as Wonder Girl battled Artemis. "Wait. We're here to help," Artemis remarked, blocking Wonder Girl's attacks with her bow. I know. The xenomorphs are forcing us to attack," Wonder Girl said, hitting Artemis in the face but missing. Artemis' face wrinkled up as she was shoved back against a wall, knocking her unconscious. When she turned around, she saw Superboy knock out Aqualad. She was forced to approach the door and assist in opening it, revealing another male scientist. He wears his long brown hair in a ponytail at the back. He was dressed in a normal white lab coat, glasses, and had slight wrinkles on his face and white streaks in his hair, as well as a xenomorph on his shoulder. When he saw the teenagers on the floor, he replied, "Good. Good." Later. The man scientist is in his office when multiple screens with figure silhouettes are lowered. "Dr. Desmond, do you need an audience with the light?" one asked, their voice muffled. Desmond informed them about the fire, the teens' arrival, and the discovery of Superboy and Wonder Girl. "What should we do with them?" "Clone them, and the cones will only serve the light," someone else stated as Desmond examined them. "And the originals?" he inquired before the first voice rose to speak. "Dispose of them. Kid Flash, Robin, Aqualad, and Artemis."
When the teenagers awoke and realized that they were bound in tubes, they groaned. They looked up to see Superboy and Wonder Girl standing in front of them. Artemis catches a glimpse of Robin fiddling with his bonds. Aqualad turned to face the two before speaking. "We only want to help you."
Kid interrupted him as he attempted to flee. "Yeah, and this is how you pay us?" Artemis asked, turning to face him. "Shut up, Kid. They're not in control of their actions." Superboy raised his head and spoke up. "What if we're not?" Kid asked, astonished. "You can talk?" Wonder Girl, Superboy, and the others all turned to look at him. "Yes, he can," Kid said, puzzledly looking around. "Hey, it's not like I said it," Aqualad pointed out to the two teenagers. "The xenomorphs taught you telepathically." Wonder Girl responded with a nod. "Yes. We can read, write, and we know names of things." Robin, who was busy picking his lock, spoke up. "But have you seen them?"
Artemis went after him. "Have you ever been outside? Seen the sun?" Superboy asked, looking down.
"Images have been put in our minds. But no, Aqualad sighed before turning to face them. Do you know what you are? Superboy asked, his face solemn. We are Superboy and Wonder Girl. Xenomorphs who were created to replacing the Superman and the Wonder Woman should they perish. Or destroy them should they turn from the light. Artemis's eyes widened in response. That sounds like what that new group always says, she thought before turning to face the others. They cloned 2 of the League's strongest members as backup in case they ever go rogue, she explained before Aqualad piped forward. To be like them is a worthy aspiration, but like them, you deserve a life beyond all of this. We're alive because of Cadmus. This is our home, Superboy exclaimed before Robin could respond. Your home is a test tube. We can show you the sun. Kid gave Robin a brief glance before shifting his gaze to Superboy and Wonder Girl. It's after midnight. But we can show you the moon. And you have a good time, babe, he said to Wonder Girl, who looked at him puzzledly. That made Artemis sigh. If I wasn't tied up, I'd slap you. Desmond, Guardian, and the female scientist were on the opposite side of the door when it opened. Desmond entered to see the bound kids conversing with Superboy and Wonder Girl. We can show you your parents, Aqualad said, and Wonder Girl's eyes widened. Mom, Dad? Desmond snorted and slung xenomorphs over their shoulder. You don't have parents. You belong to me. Well, Cadmus. Same thing. Now get back to your pods, he cried as they walked away. Begin the cloning process, he said as the female scientist moved to a computer and sirened each kid. Artemis shrieked as they were stunned, then turned to look at Aqualad, who was muttering something. Superboy, Wonder Girl. You live, that gives you the right to follow your own paths. You are people, not weapons. Ask yourselves. What would Superman, Cage, Wonder Woman do? Outside, Superboy noticed that Wonder Girl was no longer looking at him. What is it? She inquired before he cast a gaze at her and reiterated what Aqualad had said. Superboy and Wonder Girl walked in after breaking down the door. Desmond approached them and was hit by Superboy, and Wonder Girl knocked out both the female scientist and the Guardian. They broke the computer by forcing Robin to exit his tube. Man, if Batman finds out we took that long, he'll have my head, Kid deadpanned at him before speaking up. Seriously? That's what you're worried about? The whole league will have our heads after tonight. He turned to face Superboy and Wonder Girl as he walked to the computer. Can you get Aqualad and Artemis out? Superboy asked, his face set. Don't order me around. Wonder Girl sighed and scratched the back of her head, widening Artemis' eyes. When he does that, she looks like Naruto. After exiting, they dashed to the door, prompting Desmond to exclaim. You won't get out of here alive. Robin whirled around and threw many shurikens, while Artemis shot several arrows, blowing up the tanks and computers. They dashed along the corridor, past several red glowing pods. We're 42 levels below ground. But if we make it to the elevator, he came to a halt as xenomorphs encircled them.
Superboy charged one of the larger ones and knocked it out. Wonder Girl took one from beside her. Get the elevator open, she cried as she dashed to them in the opened elevator shaft.
As Robin and Artemis deployed their grappling guns, Kid leapt up. Superboy jumped up with Aqualad, and Wonder Girl followed suit, her legs glowing blue. She and Superboy collapsed, leaving Wonder Girl clinging to the walls and Robin throwing a batarang down for the others to grab. They hurried along the corridor after opening the elevator door. Left. Superboy cried, directing them along the halls until they came to a halt. Robin smirked as Kid replied sarcastically, nice. It's perfect. They climbed up to a vent and crawled inside, the girls in the back. Robin smirked as they entered another room. I hacked the motion controls, Kid smiled as he ran up the stairwell, causing the others to follow. Superboy. Superboy turned to face Wonder Girl, who pointed down and saw xenomorphs close behind. They shattered the steps, causing them to tumble. An alarm went off soon as they reached the top, and a door closed, trapping them. Damn, guys, the big ones are here, Artemis exclaimed as Robin kicked in another door.
Here, as they ran in, they spotted a swarm of xenomorphs, as well as the human looking on and Guardian. The horns of the humanoid xenomorph gleamed, and everyone but Superboy and Wonder Girl fell.
Now. I think our xenomorph brother and sister deserve life out of here. He went on to say that he started the fire in order for the heroes to escape. What are your answers? Wonder Girl and Superboy turned to face him. Freedom. Before turning to face the heroes, Guardian shook his head. Go. I'll handle Desmond. They were startled to hear a laugh. They turned around to see Desmond holding a bottle of blue liquid. With Project Blockbuster, I'll make sure you won't leave here alive. He fell to his knees after consuming the liquid and transformed into a muscular dark blue monster. He ran up to Superboy and leapt through the ceiling. I have a bad feeling about this, Artemis muttered as everyone followed and attacked Blockbuster. He grabbed Aqualad and threw him into a pillar, which caused the building to shake. That's it, Robin said quietly, bringing up a 3D model of the building. Kid over here. Kid raced over to him and was informed the plan. When Robin told the others about his plan, they agreed to keep Blockbuster busy while Wonder Girl, Superboy, and Aqualad broke more pillars. Now! Robin screamed, motioning for me to bring Blockbuster over to him. Artemis fired an arrow at his feet, causing tripwire to emerge and trip him. Aqualad poured water on him, shocking him, while the building collapsed on top of them. Wonder Girl and Superboy pushed the rubble away from them, their outfits displaying torn. As they gazed up, Kid exclaimed, "Well, there's the moon." Suddenly, Superman and other members of the League Who Can Fly appeared, along with a noticeably tall and fair-skinned lady with straight waist-length black hair and blue eyes carrying Naruto. She has a slender yet curvy frame, a large bust, and a lean yet well-muscled physique. She's wearing a strapless red bustier that's held up by a gold brace that looks like two W's. She is wearing a huge golden belt and blue briefs with 5 white stars. She is wearing red boots with a white stripe on the front. She also wears red star earrings and a golden diadem with a red star on her forehead. She also wears a golden lasso that hangs from her belt. Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman, is here. She's an Amazon and a League founding member. Naruto observed Wonder Girl when they landed and noticed the 2 W's in the orange pigmentation around her eyes. Diana, come here. They approached Wonder Girl, who appeared anxious. Artemis approached them and spoke up. Guys, meet your daughter. She then spoke about Wonder Girl as Naruto returned his gaze to Wonder Girl, who was still nervously looking at him. He grinned at her and opened his arms. Well, how about a hug? Diana smiled before speaking aloud as Wonder Girl hugged Naruto. Well, Naruto. Too bad it wasn't the fun way. Naruto coughed uneasily before turning to face her. Come on, Diana. Not in front of our daughter. Diana laughed as she hugged Wonder Girl. Nice to meet you, Naruto said, looking at Wonder Girl. So then, what's your name? Wonder Girl asked, raising an eyebrow. Wonder Girl. Naruto sighed and shook his head before turning to face her. No, not your code name. Your real name. Wonder Girl lowered her gaze before whispering. I don't have one, Naruto said, putting his hand on her shoulder and smiling. Well, that's no good. You need a name, he said, returning his gaze to Wonder Girl. How about Donna? How does that sound? She grinned at him before tightly holding him. Thank you. I love it. As he was squeezed, he grunted. Okay, you can let go. I can feel my back starting to break. Superboy cast a jealous glance at them before turning to face Superman, who avoided his sight. After hearing the narrative, Batman, Aquaman, Naruto, and Flash approached the group of teenagers. Before speaking, Batman sighed. So let me get this straight. You hacked our computers, disobeyed orders, and endangered lives. You will not be doing this again. Robin just stood there staring at him before speaking out. No, we will. Naruto smiled as they defended themselves, then turned to the freshly christened Donna. And you, young lady? Donna said back. I stand by my friends, Naruto said before smiling at Batman. Well, Batman. I say they passed my little test. Everyone but Batman seemed stunned and perplexed. What the hell do you mean, test? Flash inquired before Naruto sighed. Well, I had set this up to see how they would do on their own. Not the fire or anything real. But I wanted to see if they could, at least, work without you with them as a team, and checking Cadmus was the best one. And they passed. Naruto grinned as he looked at the group. Well then, welcome to my team. Mount Justice. 8:04 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, July 8th. Naruto, dressed in blue jeans, boots, and a black shirt under a red short-sleeved trench coat with black flames around the bottom and sleeves, and the other heroes were discussing Mount Justice to the teen dressed in ordinary clothes. Red Tornado volunteered to live here to be your supervisor, and Black Canary will be your trainer. And of course, Naruto will be team leader, and I'll give you missions. 3. The others all smiled. Real missions? Robin inquired, while Batman nodded. Yes. But covert missions, said Flash following Batman. The League will still handle the obvious stuff. There's a reason we have these targets on our suits. Aquaman nodded before following Flash. But Cadmus showed us that the villains are getting smarter. Batman needs a team that can operate under the radar.
A young woman with long blonde hair, blue eyes, and a slender yet toned build stands off to the side of Red Tornado. She is dressed in a one-piece black bustier leotard ensemble, gray stockings with seams up the front and back, black, thick, calf-length boots, black fingerless gloves that extend past the elbow to the biceps, a blue jacket, and a black choker.
This is Dinah Lance, aka Black Canary. She belongs to the League. Couldn't resist me, huh Dinah? Naruto smirked. Dinah grinned at him before lightly hitting him in the stomach. Please. You're a little young for me, Naruto. Naruto smirked and straightened up. Please, do I have to remind you that I'm older than I look? Wonder Girl approached him, dressed in a black shirt and blue jeans. Dad. Naruto returned her gaze and grinned. Yes, Donna. Donna asked him a question after looking at him. When will we go to the Mishchira? Naruto gave her a friendly smile before responding. After we meet your new teammate, Superboy observed, little envious, before Kid asked Batman a question. 7 of us. The computer near a tunnel suddenly spoke up. Recognized, Martian Manhunter, 07. Jeanne approached with a female humanoid with green skin, amber eyes, and shoulder-length red hair. She has freckles on her cheeks and wears a short-sleeved white shirt with a scarlet X on it, a blue skirt, a cloak, gloves, and ankle-high boots. Miss Martian, aka Megan Maors, is Martian Manhunter's niece. Before speaking, Batman turned to face them. This is Martian Manhunter's niece, Miss Martian. She gave a hesitant smile before waving. Hi. Naruto smiled as he approached her. Nice to meet you, Miss Martian. She smiled as she sifted her cape to resemble his coat. I like your coat. He returned her smile. Thank you, I really like your hair, he answered, making her blush. Artemis smirked and put her arms around his left arm. My name is Artemis, and I'm glad to see we're evening things out on the team compared to the boys, she replied, attempting a smile. Kid snorted and grumbled. How come the girls flocked to him? Before responding, Robin grinned. Because you only want one thing. Before introducing them to Miss Martian, Naruto waved them over. Aqualad smiled and turned to face the others. Today is the day, Naruto said as he brought Donna outside, where Diana was waiting alongside a jet. Ready? She questioned as they nodded and boarded the plane. Diana looked at Naruto as they took off. Naruto. How do you feel about this? Naruto gave her a smile before responding. I'm ecstatic. I finally have a family. I mean, I am a little nervous that it happened this soon. But I'm happy nonetheless.
For a brief moment, he noticed Diana's troubled expression. So you don't mind that we have a daughter? I know we only started dating a month ago, and you've probably been with Artemis longer than you've been with me. Naruto cut her off by raising his hand.
Diana. I'm glad we're parents. That you're the mother. Don't worry about it. We'll take it one day at a time. He grinned before kissing her on the cheek. 8:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time on July 8, the Mishchira. Naruto landed the plane as many women in armor approached. They walked out with Diana and Donna to a building where a blonde-haired blue-eyed woman in white robes and a golden crown sat on a throne. Diana's mother is Hippolyta, Queen of the Amazons. Daughter, Naruto. What brings you here? She inquired as Naruto led Donna forward. So you could meet your granddaughter Hippolyta. Naruto went on to thoroughly explain everything to her. Hippolyta approached Donna and studied her. Well, it's nice to meet you, granddaughter. Didn't expect to have one this soon. We'll start training you in our styles and be blessed to receive any gifts you didn't get from Cadmus. She pushed out the term Cadmus.
Donna returned her gaze to her parents, who nodded. Okay, where do we start? Naruto asked as Hippolyta drove Donna to training.
He took Diana's hand in his and stared at her. Diana smiled at him before kissing his face, saying, stay here and get to know her. Okay. I'll see you later, she remarked as she followed her mother and daughter. Naruto smiled as he returned to the plane and took off. 8:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time on July 8, the Mischira. Naruto landed the plane as many women in armor approached. They walked out with Diana and Donna to a building where a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman in white robes and a golden crown sat on a throne. Diana's mother is Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. "Daughter, Naruto, what brings you here?" she inquired as Naruto led Donna forward. "So you could meet your granddaughter Hippolyta." Naruto went on to thoroughly explain everything to her. Hippolyta approached Donna and studied her. "Well, it's nice to meet you, granddaughter. Didn't expect to have one this soon. We'll start training you in our styles and be blessed to receive any gifts you didn't get from Cadmus." She pushed out the term Cadmus.
Donna returned her gaze to her parents, who nodded. "Okay, where do we start?" Naruto asked as Hippolyta drove Donna to training.
He took Diana's hand in his and stared at her. Diana smiled at him before kissing his face, saying, "Stay here and get to know her." "Okay, I'll see you later," she remarked as she followed her mother and daughter. Naruto smiled as he returned to the plane and took off. Now. The Mischira, July 16, 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Naruto stood in the stands of the training area, sans coat and bow, watching his daughter in a white blouse and a metal skirt train against a red-haired Amazon. "Kit, you know, she carries some of my chakra."
Naruto sighed as he heard a voice in his head. "I felt the same way, Kurama. It must be similar to Sora. They must have discovered some of your chakra from when I needed it. Or there was some in my DNA throughout the genetic process," he reasoned before witnessing the red-haired woman knock Donna off her feet.
As the woman assisted Donna in getting back on her feet, he walked down. "Thank you for doing this, Artemis," he murmured as he approached the two. Artemis gave him a friendly grin. "No problem, Naruto." Naruto turned to face Donna, who was dusting herself. "How are things going, Donna?" Donna gave him a friendly grin. "Great, Dad," she shouted, leaping up and down. "But when will I start using chakra?" "We'll start after you finish your mother's training. You have a lot of reserves and it'll take some time in training to control them," she said as she flew away to see her mother. Artemis approached Naruto and stared him in the eyes. "She has a lot of energy, even by our standards," she commented as Naruto smiled. "I guess she gets that from me. I was the restless type also, couldn't sit still for long unless I was bribed." He moved in the same direction as Donna, followed by Artemis.
July 17, 23, 16 PDT in Star City. A gang was unloading a truck when a red arrow struck a crate, breaking it, and sent a pistol to a tall African-American male with red skin and a powerful physique. He has a short white goatee and cornrows in his hair. He's dressed in a gray suit and a yellow scarf.
This is Brick, a crook and Green Arrow's adversary. He took up the pistol and aimed it at a crane with Speedy on it. "You again?" Brick inquired, his face furrowed. "I'm getting insulted. Green Arrow doesn't deal with me himself." He shot the pistol while Speedy was riding on the crane. Speedy grabbed an arrow, spun backwards, and shot the pistol, causing it to burst and rip the man's outfit. "Do you know how much a suit in my size costs?" Brick inquired, yelled before turning to face the others. "Get him." The others attempted to take their guns, but a yellow flash knocked them away as many black arrows were shot at them, split open, and tied in rope. Rasengan. Spiraling sphere. Brick turned around to see Cage before being hit in the stomach with a blue ball and thrown back against a steel support beam. Naruto swiftly tied him up before racing over to Aqualad, who was conversing with Speedy. "The cave is perfect. It has everything we need." Robin landed behind Speedy and leaned on a container before continuing. "For covert missions, you know spy stuff." Before speaking something, Kid rushed alongside Naruto. "And you should see Superboy, Miss Martian, and Wonder Girl. But I saw them first." Naruto swatted Kid on the back of the head before fuming. "Watch it, Kid. That's my daughter you're referring to," Speedy said, raising an eyebrow. "If Wally's hitting on her, she must be at least his age. How is it you have a daughter that would be at least 2 years younger than you?" "Cadmus cloned her from my and Diana's DNA and super grew her. She's 16 weeks old, but physically she's 16. Speedy nodded and turned to face the others. "So, you in?" Robin questioned as Speedy walked away. "Pass," he murmured, checking behind him before continuing. "I'm tired of Arrow and the League telling me what to do. I don't need a babysitter or a clubhouse. Go hang out with the other kids," Naruto muttered as Speedy proceeded. "Your Junior Justice League's a joke. Something to keep you busy." Naruto approached him and punched him. Watch it, Roy. These are mine, and your friends you're bad-mouthing. And the team was my idea. I was willing to give you a second chance. But I don't want you even near the team with this attitude unless you need our help. Speedy stood up and walked away. That's fine. I don't want any part of this, Naruto said, glaring at him. I'll keep that in mind for the next meeting on discussing who'll join the league. Kid raced in front of him, staring. Hey, watch it, Roy's R. He came to a halt as Naruto glared at him. Shut up, kid. Stop trying to get him to join. He doesn't want to, and I don't want him to. He blew both his chances, Naruto said before shifting his attention to the culprits. Go to the cave. I'll meet you there shortly. Robin spoke to the children. Dude. Don't get on his bad side. Roy called his idea, and technically his daughter, a joke. I've seen what he did to men for less. Roy got off with a slap on the wrist. They turned to Naruto, who was talking on his communicator for a pickup before leaving. Mount Justice, 11:16 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, July 18th. Recognized. Robin, B02. Kid Flash, B03. Robin and Wally emerged from the tunnel in their street clothes to join Aqualad, Magan, and Superboy in front of computer displays. Robin bolted over to Aqualad. Is he coming? Aqualad said, smiling. He'll be here any minute. Recognized. Cage, 17. Artemis, B01. Naruto entered the hangar aboard a black Dodge Tomahawk, Artemis on his back. A.N. For a better visual, type Dodge Tomahawk but imagine yourself in the passenger seat. Red Tornado is right behind us, he remarked as he removed his helmet and stepped off the motorcycle. As the others proceeded quietly to the hidden opening, Wally and Robin dashed past him, and Red Tornado float down on a tornado. He looked around the room before speaking. Greetings. Is there a reason you intercepted me outside the cave? Aqualad took a step forward, clearing his throat. We'd hope you'd have a mission for us. Red Tornado made a shaky motion with his head. Missions assignments are Batman's and Cage's responsibility. Robin approached and followed Aqualad. But it's been a week, Naruto came to a halt in front of him. I've asked Batman not to give us anything for a while, Wally said, surprised. What? Why? Because you need to get to know each other. Know each other's strengths and weaknesses. You don't know how each other fights. Mainly Artemis, Magan, Superboy, and Donna. Who's not here? Red Tornado nodded and continued. Yes, Cage will put you to the test when the time comes. Aqualad returned his gaze to the others. Tornado raised his hand, saying, this isn't a social club. No, but I'm told it's a good team building exercise. In the meantime, keep busy by familiarizing yourself with the cave. Wally nudged Robin as he and Naruto proceeded towards the cave. Keep busy. Naruto came to a halt and turned his head. Don't go there. Don't doubt this team, and don't doubt yourselves. If you do, the bad guys have already won. Wally snorted and whispered to Robin. Do they think we're falling for this? Magan asked, turning to face the two heroes. I'll find out. Despite her best efforts, she couldn't read Red Tornado's mind. Nothing. I forgot he's inorganic. As she tried on Naruto, who was waiting at the bottom, she heard his words inside her thoughts. Nice try, but I've got a fail-safe for mind readers, he said, winking at her, making her blush. I guess you discovered Naruto has a way to keep people from reading his mind, Magan said to Artemis. There are villains with mind control and reading abilities, and Naruto has an ace in the hole for them so he won't be affected, she finished before Wally raced to Magan. That's a shame. You know what I'm thinking right now. Artemis whacked him across the back of the head. We don't need a mind reader to know what you're thinking. Aqualad sighed and looked down. Artemis narrowed her brows as Naruto barked at them, and now we tour the clubhouse. What did I just say? Before Magan broke the tension, everyone stiffened. Well, Superboy, Donna, and I live here. Even though she's still training with her mother. We could give you a tour. Artemis observed Superboy stiffen before he spoke. Don't look at me. Wally shrugged and returned his attention to Magan. Don't worry. A private tour sounds fine. Robin tapped him on the shoulder before speaking up. She never mentioned a private tour. Aqualad sighed again before saying out.
Team exercise. We all go. Before detecting something, Naruto observed Magan becoming a tour guide for the others. Should get that before it burns, he said as he proceeded to the kitchen. which is directly next to a widescreen TV and couch, and took out a tray of cookies.
What he means is that we're hiding in plain sight, he heard Wally say before Superboy spoke out. What's that smell? My cookies. Megan swooped in and spotted Naruto arranging the cookies on a platter. She exhaled a breath of relief before turning to face him. Thank you, Naruto. I was hoping to try Granny Jones' recipe from episode 7. Naruto arched an eyebrow as the others entered.
It was nice of you to cook for us, Megan, Aqualad stated as Naruto approached the sink.
Well, we're off duty, so why don't we introduce ourselves? He asked as Artemis approached him. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and this is Artemis. He noticed Artemis was concerned and nodded to Aqualad. I'm Calderam, but my friends call me Calder. Wally, who was munching the cookies, gave Megan a sexy look. I'm Wally. See, I already trust you with my secret identity, unlike Mr. Dark Glasses over here, he said, motioning to Robin. Robin frowned at him before Megan spoke out. Batman's forbidden him from giving his real name to anyone. Mine's no secret, I'm Megan Moors, but you can call me Megan. That's an Earth name, and I'm on Earth now. Megan gazed at Superboy as he went away. Don't worry, Superboy. We'll find you an Earth name. Superboy came to a halt and stared at her. Get out of my head. She seemed perplexed before looking around. What's the matter? Back on Mars, everyone talked telepathically, everyone save Naruto and Artemis grimaced. Megan, stop. That's an invasion of privacy here on Earth, Aqualad stated, forcing Megan to look down and cry until Naruto intervened. Hold it, Calder. She wasn't aware of that. And Jun does that for when the League needs radio silence on missions, which we'll be doing. Superboy stared at him, prompting Naruto to do the same. If you don't want it, you can wait until you're more comfortable for that along with Donna. Naruto looked at Megan. I apologize for their rudeness. As I previously stated, they are not used to fighting with anyone other than their mentors. He returned his attention to the others and proceeded. This is one of the reasons I'm not taking you on missions right now, and also because Donna isn't here. Megan slapped her forehead, her melancholy gone. Hello, Megan. I know what we can do. Naruto blinked before Megan departed, leaving Naruto and Artemis behind. He gave Artemis a brief glance before saying up. Did that look familiar to you? She asked, nodding. Yeah, do you think? Naruto interrupted her with a raised hand. Perhaps Jun sent stuff up so she could learn about Earth, Megan said as she returned to them, raising an eyebrow. Guys. Naruto and Artemis followed her to the hangar, where they discovered a massive red and black egg. My Martian bioship, Wally explained, while the others gazed on, perplexed. It's cute but not very aerodynamic, Megan said, waving her hand. It's in rest, silly, I'll wake it up. The ship transformed into a massive aerodynamic craft. For a better image, type her ship. They walked in, and seats for each one popped up with Megan seated in the middle with two lighted circular handles.
Megan yelled, Red Tornado, please open hangar doors, before the doors opened and they flew out. Wally sighed dreamily to Megan before Robin spoke up.
Incredible, Wally said as he followed Robin. She certainly is, Megan said as she sat up fast. The ship. All ships are she's, giggled Naruto. Not the fastest with his mouth Dude. Screamed Wally to Naruto, who was staring at Calder, who was whispering to Superboy. I know what you're thinking. You overreacted and don't know how to apologize. Just say you're sorry, Naruto said, returning his gaze to Megan.
Don't worry about him, he'll come around. Wally leaned forward and murmured. You know he has super hearing, right? Naruto asked, shrugging. So, from her seat alongside Naruto, Artemis turned to face Megan. Can you transform?
As she stood up, Megan transformed into a female Robin and Wally in their costumes. Is it wrong that I think I'm hot? Wally inquired before Naruto responded. Yes. Yes, it is. Before speaking, Robin clapped. Very good, but those won't fool anyone, Megan said as she sat back down. Imitating boys is a lot harder, Calder said as he adjusted the chair he was sitting in. And your clothes? Megan grinned as she put on her jacket. They're organic, like the ship, and they respond to my mental commands, Superboy said, snorting. Naruto narrowed his eyes before speaking up, as long as they're the only ones. Superboy. Calm down. Superboy returned his gaze. As she said, that's what they do on Mars. And unless something drastic happens, you don't have to do the mental link until you're ready. Wally diffused the situation by turning to Megan. Can you do that ghosting through walls like Manhunter? Megan asked, looking at him. Density shifting? No, that's an advanced technique. As he glanced out the window, Naruto spoke up. Well, we'll help you train along with Jean. Robin chuckled and pointed at Wally. Flash can vibrate his molecules to pass through walls, but when he does, bloody nose. Wally exclaimed. Dude. Megan smiled when one of the handles lit up. Here's something I can do. As they flew, the spacecraft became invisible. Camouflage mode. Red Tornado abruptly spoke up over the radio. Red Tornado to Miss Martian and Cage. An alarm went off at the Happy Harbor power plant. I suggest you investigate. Covertly.
Robin sighed despondently, but kept his mouth shut as he stared at Naruto. Guys, remember Cadmus. A simple investigating led you to discover Superboy and Donna.
Megan spoke up as they flew to the workplace. I wonder what caused the alert. Superboy noticed a twister to the right. I'm guessing that. The twister swept the ship in, causing Megan to crash land. Naruto took a scroll and his glasses from his pocket. When he opened it, he put his hands on two seals, and both his and Artemis' bows, as well as her mask, popped out. Robin, are tornadoes common in New England? Aqualad inquired as he turned around and noticed. Nothing, Robin? Naruto cursed as he looked around. Damn it, he said as a burst of wind blew the factory's windows out. All right, let's go. As they ran in, they witnessed Robin being blown into a stone pillar. Aqualad approached him and knelt. Friends of yours?
Robin rose to his feet and shook his head. Nope, but he packs a punch. Looking around, they noticed an android with a scarf around his face, and blue wires on his arms and back.
Please accept my apologies. You may address me as Mr. Twister, he said, lifting his arms and blowing wind at them. Naruto scanned him with his glasses. 1. Guys. It's an android, we've got to disable him, he cried, pressing the red button on his handle, causing the bottom of the quiver to rotate. Superboy attempted to dash over but was knocked back against the wall. Naruto looked about before nodding, and Kid, who had put on his goggles, Artemis, Aqualad, and Megan ran over but were blown back. Come on, I was. Mr. Twister came to a halt when he felt someone on his shoulders. When he looked up, he saw Naruto holding an arrow with a blue lighting tip. See you later, Mr. Twister said as he shot the arrow, sparking and collapsing on his back. Naruto noticed a line in his chest that revealed a Caucasian man with longish brown hair and strong sideburns. He has green eyes and is dressed in a green and white suit. Before exploding, he jerked, sending an eye over to Wally, who picked it up. Cool souvenir. Artemis was visibly disturbed by this. Really? That's what you're taking? Nothing like the scarf or something. Naruto noticed the man's other artificial eye blinking red and grabbed it. He was recording us, he said, destroying the eye and turning back to hear a whistle. Looking overhead, they seen a small pod fall just outside of town. Naruto let out a sigh and pinched his nose. It's never easy, is it? Okay. Let's check it out, and no running away before we know what we're dealing with, he said to Robin. They flew to the park where the pod had fallen and saw it open, revealing an orange-skinned teen girl with long red hair and green eyes dressed in a black silver-trimmed suit strolling out. She noticed them and began speaking in a foreign language, compelling Naruto to respond. What's a Tamaranian doing here? The girl continued speaking while looking around the group, perplexed. She raced to Superboy and smacked him, sending him flying into a tree after seeing both Naruto's and Artemis' bows. Crap. Okay. Subdue only. She probably thinks we want to harm her, Naruto said as he turned to face Magan. Are you able to talk to her, or at least calm her down? Magan turned to face the others who were fighting the girl, who was shooting green beams of energy out of her hands at them. I could try, but I can't promise anything, Naruto said, nodding. All I ask is that you do your best, he cried to Artemis as he ran over to her. Sleeping gas and non-lethal arrows only. Magan stood back, trying to concentrate, and sensing the girl's rage.
Please calm down. We don't want to hurt you. Naruto punched Wally before leaping over him and shooting an arrow filled with white foam at the girl. The female, who was struggling, got free and flew to him. Crap, Naruto exclaimed, dropping his bow and adding chakra to his arms and legs. With his palm, he seized her fist, producing a shock wave around them. It's all right. I only want to help.
She kicked him, only to be smacked with batarangs. Robin landed next to her. The girl came to a halt, and everyone heard McGann's voice within their thoughts. I got her to calm down, but I can't really understand what she's saying. Only bits and pieces, Robin said as he approached her with his hands up. It's okay. I'm Robin, and we only want to help. The female approached Robin, grabbed his head, and kissed him. Holy crap! Shouted Wally before the female backed away, leaving a red-faced Robin. Where am I? She inquired in English as Naruto approached. You're on Earth. How did you get here? He inquired, hearing her sigh. I was kidnapped a few days ago and managed to escape my captors. Before she could say anything, Red Tornado and Wonder Woman soared down as Naruto approached her. Hey, Diana. I thought you were with Donna. She replied, looking to the pod. I was called for a mission earlier, and as I was flying back, Batman radioed me saying a small pod crashed here, she said, raising an eyebrow at the orange-skinned female. Who's she? Before she spoke, the girl bowed. My name is Coriander, or Starfire in English. She went on to explain that she and her sister were abducted for ransom and that she managed to escape. And was your sister able to escape? Wally inquired, prompting Starfire to shake her head. I don't know. She was on another ship. Naruto approached her and grinned. Well, we'll search for her or the people who kidnapped you. Okay, team. Let's head back. Except for Artemis, Wonder Woman, and Naruto, everyone walked or flew to the ship. Naruto smirked as he approached Wonder Woman. There's going to be a carnival here soon. We should take Donna and the team, Wonder Woman said, throwing her arms around him and leaning in. Sounds like a date. Diana, what are you doing HMPF? He exclaimed as she kissed him before leaning in and wrapped his arms around her waist. Hey, guys, you come. When Artemis turned to face the ship and found Wally looking wide-eyed, his jaw fell. He raced over to Artemis, pointing to the kissing couple, who were completely unaware of what was going on. How come you're not clawing her eyes out? Artemis cocked her brow. Why? I know he's dating her. Say what? Artemis asked, shrugging before explaining. Yeah. An old law that was up when his village was founded was that the last male of a clan, or like a royal family here, must have multiple wives to bring it back. Naruto is the last known man from his. Wally collapsed to the ground, a rain cloud looming over his head. Some guys have all the luck. Naruto and Wonder Woman parted ways, and she took a step back. I'm going to see Donna. Her training's going well, by the way.
She flew away, nodding, as Naruto grabbed Artemis' hand in his and went for the ship, leaving the devastated Wally on the ground.
Mount Justice at 21:08 Eastern Daylight Saving Time on July 18th. Everyone gathered around Mr. Twister, with Red Tornado at the head of the table. Naruto raised his voice after putting up the holographic keyboard and screen.
I wasn't able to gather much. But there's garbled speech talking about destroying you or replacing you. Red Tornado gave a nod.
Indeed. Starfire took off in a purple shirt and jeans. Friends, where's my room? Wally smiled as he stepped forward, only to be yanked back by Artemis. I'll show you, she said as Starfire smiled, grabbed her, and flew down the hall. Thank you, friend, Artemis. Everyone soon made their way to their individual quarters and along the passageway. Superboy came to a halt and stared at Megan. I'm sorry, he murmured as he walked away. Naruto placed a hand on her shoulder and grinned. Exciting first mission, huh? He asked, nodding. Megan blushed as he walked down the corridor, recalling what Artemis had said earlier. He's allowed more than one girlfriend, she said as she flew to her room, passing Artemis, who was walking down the corridor with her hair in a tangle.
Megan giggled before speaking up. She's very joyful. It's like having another sister. I mean, I have 12 on Mars. But it's not the same. Artemis gave a mournful look before speaking up. I understand, Megan said as she walked down the hall, before shrugging and heading to her room. To be continued.
That's it for this part, guys. Thanks for listening to this video. I hope you did enjoy the story, and if you did, like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you all for helping support, and have a great day.